जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। Thank you very much once again, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today for this 59th session of our detailed study on Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamritam. I'll share my screen and then we'll begin today's presentation. You'll be able to see the screen now, dear devotees. We are studying in great detail, and I'm very thankful to all of you who have kindly been a part of this journey. My thanks also to Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, who has kindly hosted all these sessions. Today he is not present because he is traveling, but in his place Param Karuna Prabhu has taken over as the host. So I'm very thankful, Param Karuna Prabhu, for kindly hosting this session. And before we begin, we'll ensure auspiciousness for the presentation by quickly reciting Shanti part and a verse for Srila Rupa Goswami. So here is the Shanti part. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sahana Bhavatu. May Bhagwan protect both of us, the teacher as well as the student. Sahanau Bhunaktu. May Bhagwan bestow the highest fruit of the study upon both of us. Saha Viryam Karvavahi. May both of us realize or attain the strength to realize the highest truth. Tejasvi na vadhitamastu. May our study shine forth brilliantly. Ma vidvishavahai. May we never envy each other. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. May peace pervade the three worlds. So this is the introductory hymn of Kathopanishad, which is often employed as Shanti Path. Dear devotees, we also should glorify Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who is the author of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Here is a verse for glorifying Sri Rupa Goswami using all the declensions of the noun Rupa in the Sanskrit language. Rupo bhakti rasamritarnavamatho Rupam hi vandai sada Rupenamita bhakti tatvamavitam Rupaya shashvannama Rupat kopi na gaura hrinnikatago Rupasya kavyam varam Rupe pritirihastu me dridhatama Rupa shraye tvamaham. Nominative case. Rupa as subject of the verb. Rupo bhakti rasamritarnavamatho. Shri Rupa is the churner of bhakti rasamrita sindhu. Rupam hi vandai sada. Accusative case. Rupa as object. May I always glorify Shri Rupa. And Rupa as instrument. Rupenamita bhakti tattvam avitam. Countless truths regarding bhakti were protected by Shri Rupa. Then dative case. Shri Rupa as a receiver of something. Rupaya Shashvan Namaha. Constant obeisances unto Shri Rupa. Then ablative case. Shri Rupa being compared. Rupat kopina gaura hrin nikatago. There is nobody closer to the heart of Gauranga other than Shri Rupa Goswami. Genitive case, showing a relationship between two entities. Rupasya kavyam varam. Extremely superior is Sri Rupa's poetry. locative case, so showing something within Sri Rupa. Rupe Pritir Ihastu Me Dridhatama. In this world, may I have the most resolute affection in Sri Rupa. Vocative case, calling out to Sri Rupa. Rupa Shraye Tvamaham. O Sri Rupa, I take shelter of you. Dear devotees, in this 59th session, we are continuing our discussion on the final instruction of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Krishnasyochai pranaya vasati preyasibhyo piradha kundam chasya munibhirabhitastadrigeva vyadhai yat preshthairapyalamasulabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tat premedam sakritapi sarasnatura vishkaroti. This, dear devotees, is the final instruction of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam, and here is the word for word anvaya. Param Karuna Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
Sri Radha is the greatest repository of amorous prema of Krishna, greater even than the other gopis. Her kunda too is similarly described as the greatest repository of amorous Krishna prema, in all ways by the learned sages. Such Krishna prema is certainly rare to be attained, even by dear premi bhaktas such as Narada, etc. What then to speak of ordinary sadhak devotees? This Radha Kunda, however, manifests that very Krishna prema for an individual who bathes in it even once.
Even once, dear devotees, if an individual bathes in Sri Radha Kund, and that individual has a chance to have access to the rarest of rare prema that is described here in this particular verse. We are continuing, dear devotees, to describe the various shades of love that Sri Radha has in her character. Sri Rupa Goswami has described that prema, it has two embankments. One is union and one is separation. We saw that last time. And separation especially is known as Vipralambha. Now Vipralambha or separation was categorized by Sri Rupa Goswami into 4 types. Purva ragas tatha manah prema vaicittya mityapi pravasas cheti kathito vipralambhas chaturvidha. Chaturvidha vipralambha. Vipralambha or separation is of 4 types. What were the 4 types we saw last time? Purva raga, man, prema vaicittya, and pravas. Out of these 4 that Sri Rupa Goswami has described, all the examples that we saw were pertaining to Sri Radha's prema. But out of these 4, we saw only 2 last time, Purvarag and Man. Param Karuna Prabhu, you might be remembering something about Purvarag. So can you quickly tell me what Purvarag is about?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like the separation before even meeting through hearing letters like Srimati Rukmini Devi.
Okay. So between the lover and beloved, the separation that exists before the first meeting. So the lover and beloved have heard about each other. And maybe they have seen each other from a distance. Shri Radha and Shri Krishna, as they are growing up in Raja, they naturally get attracted to each other's qualities. But because they are not able to speak to each other freely, therefore, union has not taken place. It is still a stage of separation before the first meeting. And this stage of separation is technically known as Purva Raga. So dear devotees, we had seen Purva Raga last time and the examples. An example of how Chandravali develops Purva Raga and Man, and an example of how Sri Radha develops Purva Raga. Dear devotees, we also saw examples of how Sri Radha develops Man. We saw various examples. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to relish these various facets of Madhurya Ras, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially loved to hear about them through three main poets. This is described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vidyapati Chandidas Shri Gita Govinda Eti Nagite Karan Prabhura Ananda. Param Karuna Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
Sri Swarup Damodar used to read the poems of Vidyapati, Chandidas, and Jayadev Goswami's Shri Geet Govinda. He used to make Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very happy by singing these songs.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved to sing the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati, and Sri Jayadev Goswami. Dear devotees, till now, whatever we have seen, the descriptions that we have heard are those which were penned down by Sri Rupa Goswami in the Sanskrit language. Today, dear devotees, let us also get a glimpse into Mahaprabhu's world, because after all, we are devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, Sri Chandidas was a poet, devotee who appeared in this world before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chandidas wrote many songs glorifying the various pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Sri Chandidas composes a song on the Purva Raga of Srimati Radharani. This is a very beautiful song, dear devotees, and I'll try to sing it kindly, hear carefully. Radha ki hailo antare vyatha basiya birale thakaye kale basiya birale thakaye kale nashune kahar katha. Sri Chandidas says, Radhar ki haila antare vyatha. Antare vyatha, what is the inner turmoil? Radhar ki haila, that Sri Radha is experiencing. Dear devotee, she is experiencing Purva Raga. She wants to meet Sri Krishna, but she is unable to meet. What is she doing? Bhasiya virale, thakaye kale. Bhasiya virale, sitting in a solitary place. Thakaye ekale, all by herself. Nashune kahar katha. She does not pay attention to anything else that anyone is speaking. What has happened to Sri Radha? Sadai dheyane, chahe megha pane. Sadai dheyane, chahe megha pane. न चले नयन तारा बिरति आहारे रंगा बस परे बिरति आहारे रंगा बस परे Jemana yogini para. Sri Chandidas says, Sadhai dheyani, always in meditation. Meditation upon whom? Sri Krishna. Then she sees a dark cloud in the sky. Chahe megha pane. She wants to drink the nectar from that dark cloud because that dark cloud resembles someone she loves. Na chale nayana tara. And her eyelids do not move at all. They are fixed on the cloud. Virati ahare. She is completely detached from eating anything. Rangavas pare. Usually she wears deep blue clothes, but now she is wearing saffron red. Jemana yogini para. It is as if a great yogini is meditating in the forest upon the object of her meditation. Further, Sri Chandidas says, Elaya veni huler gathuni Elaya veni huler gathuni Dekhaye khashaya chuli Hasid bayane Chahe megha pane हसित बयाने चाहे मेघ पाने कि कहे दुहात तूले. Alaya Veni. Then she suddenly does something. She opens up her Veni, her braid of hair. Huler Ganthuni. She undoes the flowery knots. She removes the flowers. And then what does she do? Dekhaye khashaya chuli. She looks at her open braids. That dark color, any object of dark color is attractive to her now. Suddenly she becomes a little maddened. Hasita Vayane, smiling suddenly. Chahe megha pane. She wants to drink from the cloud. Dear devotees, there is a bird in this world named Chatak. This Chatak bird drinks only waters dripping from the cloud. It doesn't drink water from a lake, etc. Sri Radha, like a Chatak bird, wants to drink only from the beauty of Sri Krishna. Ki kahe du haat tule. Raising her two hands, what does she say? We do not know. Ekaditi kari mayura mayuri kanthakare nirikshane Chandidas kai navaparichaya kaliya bandhura sami Chandidas kai navaparichaya kaliya bandhura sami Ekaditi kari Mayura Mayuri Kantha Kare Nirikshane. Finally, she finds the exact shade of color that she is looking for. She looks at the Kantha, the throat of the peacock and peahen, because that is of that exact dark bluish color that she is looking for. Kantha Kare Nirikshane. And with a fixed gaze, she looks at the neck of the peacock and peahen. She has found that color she is looking for. Chandidas kahe, Chandidas says, Nava Parichay Kaliya Bandhurasane. Oh Radha, this is Nava Parichay, your budding love, Purva Rag, born out of your fresh acquaintance with that Kaliya, with that dark complexioned friend of yours. Dear devotees, this is Sri Chandidas Pada. This is poetry written by Sri Chandidas describing the moods of Srimati Radharani in Purva Rag. She is going a little crazy because she wants to meet Krishna, but she is unable to meet him. And she is trying to find Krishna in all the objects around her. This is the state of existence of Sri Radha in Purva Rag. Then, dear devotees, we also saw Man and Param Karuna Prabhu. Can you give a simple explanation of what Man is?
Yes, Prabhuji. Separation when, out of sulkiness or being a little angry at the other person and saying,
Yes.
don't want to talk to you anymore or something like that.
Right. So, sulkiness which prevents the lover and beloved from speaking to each other is known as Man. The lover and beloved may be at one place or may be separated by a distance, but they are slightly angry at each other and therefore they are not speaking to each other. Another favorite of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Vidyapati. Dear devotees, Sri Vidyapati is Maithil Kavi. He wrote in the Maithili language, and here is a pada, poetry by Sri Vidyapati, speaking about Man, but this time it is not Man of Sri Radha. Due to some quarrel, sometimes Sri Krishna also develops Man. Sri Krishna also becomes a little sulky. Sri Vidyapati notes down and composes poetry describing Sri Krishna's Man. Karatala kamala nayandaranira nachetaye sambara kuntala chira. Vidyapati says, Madhav, Karatala Kamala, your hands are placed on your lotus face. Nayana Dhara Neera, and your eyes shed tears. Na Chetaye Sambharana Kuntala Chira. Everything about you is in disarray. Sambharana, your ornaments. Kuntala, your hair. Chira, your clothes. All are in disarray because you are neglecting yourself. Why, Madhav? Because you are sulky today. So, dear devotees, this is basically a Sakhi, a Gopi who is giving a message from Sri Radha to Sri Krishna. She is saying this to Sri Krishna. Further, the Gopi says, Tuva pathah hari hari chitanahi dira sumurei purura neha dagadha sharira. To a pathah heri heri. Oh Madhav, looking at the path which you used to traverse to meet her. She is constantly looking at that path, expecting that you will come. Chita nahi dhira. And because you're not coming, she's experiencing immense anxiety at heart. Sumari, by remembering Purura Neha, her previous love exchanges with you. Dagadha Sharira, her body is also burning. Further, the Gopi says, Kate Parimadhava Sadhava Mana Virahi Juvati Mage Darshana Dana Darshana Dana. Kate Pari Madhav Sadhava Man. Madhav, what sort of man? And for what reason have you assumed? Why are you angry? Virahi Juvati Mage Darshana Dan. That sweet damsel Radha, who is now in separation, begs for a single glance of you. Jala madhe kamala gagan madhe sura antara chandahu kumutkata dura gagana garaja megha Shikhara Mayura Kata Jana Jana Se Neha Kata Dura. Then she gives various examples. Jal Madhe Kamala. Oh Madhav, Kamal, the lotus is in water. Yet, who is the lover of the lotus? The sun. Because by seeing the sun, the lotus blooms. The sun is millions of miles away in the sky. Antara Chandahu, Kumud Katadur. Similarly, the distance between the water lily and its lover, the moon. Because at night, when the moon blossoms, the water lily also blossoms. Their distance is immensely great too. Gagana Garaja Megha Shikhara Mayura. The rain cloud, the third example he gives, the rain cloud thunders far away in the sky. Yet upon seeing it, its lover, the peacock on the hilltop, dances in joy. Kata Jana Janasi, Madhav, Neha Katatur. How many people in this world realize how their love keeps attracting them even from a distance? Madhav, do you realize? Even from a distance, you are giving pain to Sri Radha. Bhanami Vidyapati Viparita Mana Radha Vachane Lajaila Kana Lajaila Kana. Bhanai Vidyapati. Vidyapati says, Viparit Man. Madhav, this is reverse man. Usually, the exclusive right of becoming Salki is with Sri Radha. What happened today to you? You are angry today. This is reversal of mana. So all these words of Sri Radha were conveyed by the Sakhi to Sri Krishna. Radha Vachane, Lajai Lakan. On hearing these words of Sri Radha, Lajai Lakan, our Krishna felt ashamed and embarrassed at heart. Dear devotees, this is Vidyapati. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would prefer the poetry of Sri Vidyapati, Sri Chandidas. Although this poetry is not written in Sanskrit language, but written in various local languages that were prevalent at that time in India. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved to sing these songs of separation and union by Chandidas, Sri Vidyapati, etc. Dear devotees, Sri Chandidas and Sri Vidyapati started a trend which continued very much in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were hundreds and thousands of Gaudiya Vaishnava poets who composed so many songs of the various pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Dear devotees, many of these songs were compiled and these songs were published. There is a very nice collection of songs. It is called Vaishnav Padavali. It is in Bangla. So Vaishnav Padavali, here you can see in Bangla, Vaishnav Padavali. Thousands and thousands of songs on various topics by various authors, compiled in a single book. And there are many such collections of thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. Vaishnav Padavali, Padakalpataru, so many collections. Those who do not understand Sanskrit or read Sanskrit can at least take the effort to understand and learn the language of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Bangla, Bengali language. It is much easier to learn as compared to Sanskrit. And then all the moods of Sri Radha and Krishna become accessible through these very sweet songs. Dear devotees, the third stage of separation or third type of separation is known as Prema vaicittya. What is Prema vaicittya? Srila Rupa Goswami defines Prema vaicittya in Ujjvala Nilamanih. Priyasya sannikarshepi premotkarsha svabhavatah ya vishlesha dhiyartistat prema vaicittyamuchyate. This translation is by Srila. This translation is inspired by the translation that Srila Prabhupada did in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Sri Rupa Goswami says, Premotkarsha Swabhavata, due to a heightened state of prema. When prema increases sometimes, what happens? Vishlesha dhiyartis. One sometimes feels pangs of separation from one's lover, even when priyasya sannikarshepi, even when the lover is present nearby. Such a stage of separation in the very presence of the lover is known as prema vaicittya. So sometimes Sri Radha and Sri Krishna are present right next to each other. But sometimes something happens because the anxiety of separation, and this anxiety is not material, dear devotees. I'll repeat it again and again. The devotional anxiety of separation from Shri Krishna is so great that even a small mention of him going away creates the state of prema vaicittya in Srimati Radharani. In the Vidagdha Madhav, there is an example of this. At one point of time, Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna were sitting together and being attracted to the fragrance that was coming from Sri Radha's mouth, a bumblebee came near her. Srimati Radharani, she tried to drive away the bumblebee because it was creating some disturbance in her meeting Sri Krishna. Of course, this bumblebee has also been arranged by Yogamaya so that Prema Vaicittya can manifest in Sri Radha. Sri Radha tries to drive away the bumblebee, and after some time, there is a Priya Narma Sakha, a very close, confidential friend of Sri Krishna, who is sitting nearby. He says that Madhusudan has gone away. Because Madhusudan, Madhu means honey, and Sudan means one who sucks honey. So Madhusudan is a name of a bumblebee. But Madhusudan is also the name of Shri Krishna. So when he says Madhusudan has gone away, Sri Radha faints in the very lap of Shri Krishna. But before fainting, her words are as follows. This verse is in the meter Harini. I'll try to sing this verse. Samajani davad vitrastanam kimartaravo gavam Maikima bhavad vaigunyam va nirankushamikshitam vyarachinibritam kim vahuti kayachidabhishtaya yadi hasahasam mamatyakshid vane vanajekshana. This, dear devotees, is Sri Radha's statement in the meter Harini. Sri Radha, even though Krishna is present right behind her, she is anxiously saying, what happened? Samajani davad vetrastanam kimartaravo gavam. Artaravo gavam. Did the cows cry out loudly because davad vitrastanam? Because there was a forest fire and they were agitated. Did the cows call out loudly and cause him to leave? Maikima bhavad vaigunyam va. Did I accidentally commit an offense? Did some negative quality manifest in me? Nirankushamikshitam. Did he see some unruly behavior in me? Did even a small action of me appear unruly to him. Vyarachinibritam kim vahuti kayachid abhishtaya. Kayachid abhishtaya. Did some abhishta gopi, did some other gopi dare to him? Call him in a solitary place. What happened? Yadi hasa hasa. Suddenly what happened? Mama tyakshit. Giving me up. Vane vanajekshana. Where did my mother go in the forest? Giving me up suddenly. Now Madhav is present right next to her. But she is experiencing separation right in his presence. This, dear devotees, is called Prema vaicittya. This example was given by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Vidagdha Madhava. Other poets have also given examples of Prema vaicittya in Shri Krishna. There is a very sweet pada by a medieval Vaishnav poet named Shri Radha Vallabh Das, explaining Prema vaicittya that occurred once in Shri Krishna. Dear devotees, it is very difficult to find paintings for each and every pastime. Sometimes I'm able to find some approximate painting. So, dear devotees, once Sri Krishna was lying upon the lap of Sri Radha, and as you can see, she was on his right side. You can see she was on his right side. The way in which he was lying, she was on his right side. Radha Vallabh Das speaks of a sweet pastime. Dhani kare vinoda nagar var bhudela royat nirava yana vahigela. Dhani kore. Kore means lap. On the lap of Dhani. Dhani is another name of Sri Radha. Dhani kore vinoda. In the lap of Sri Radha, suddenly, when Hari was lying down, vinoda, there was a joke. What was the joke? The Sakhi said, Sri Krishna, on which side is Radha supposed to be? He said, my left. And look at your left. So Param Karan Prabhu, he looked at his left. Did he see Sri Radha?
No.
No. She's on his right. So suddenly he saw towards his left. And then where has she gone? Suddenly Shri Krishna. Royat nira bhayan bahigela. Suddenly he started crying and profuse tears started falling from his eyes. Kore akula bhai murachita bhena sahachari gana kar bhaya nahi dela. Kore, in that very lap of Sri Radha, bhai murachita. He became so agitated that he fainted. Sahachari gana kar bhaya nahi dela. So the Sakhis put their hand near his nose to check his breathing, to check his pulse. Shwasahina hari sabahu vibhora royat dhani tab shyamakari kora. Shwasahina hari. However, Hari was not breathing at that point of time. Sabahu vibhora. They all got extremely agitated. Royat dhani tab shyamakari kora. Dhani, Sri Radha at that point of time, while crying profusely, put Krishna back on her lap because he had fainted and fallen down. So she put him back on her lap. एक सखियो कति करल अनुपम श्रवणे कहई तबे राधा नाम बहु खणे श्रवणे पैठल सो बोल राई राई करियु थल तनु मोड़. एक सखी, then one Sakhi, Yukati Karala Anupam. Then she carried out a wonderful idea. Shravane Kahi Tabe Radha Nam. In Hari's ear, she started speaking one name, Sri Radha. Bahu Khane Shravane. For quite some time, Pathai Sobol. She and the other Sakhis kept repeating that name in his ears. Rai Rai Kari Uthal Tanu Mor. Suddenly, he got up anxiously speaking Rai Rai, Radha Radha, while turning his body in all the directions. He was profusely crying because of Prema vaicittya. Roi roi suvadane parichaya dela kore kayal sab dukha dur gela. Roi roi suvadani, crying profusely. That beautiful face, Sri Radha comforted him. Parichaya dila. And she said, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. She assured him of her presence. Kore kayal sab. Then she again put him on her lap. Dukha dur gela. And all distress was gone at this point of time. Baithal nahi rai vam pasha hari chamakita radha vallabha dasa. Then from that day onwards, Hari did not sit or sleep on the left side of Sri Radha. He always stayed on the right and kept Sri Radha on his left because he never wanted to experience a similar situation again. Chamakita Radha Vallabha Das. Seeing all this, Radha Vallabha Das is Chamakita, he's amazed. Dear devotees, all these pastimes are seen in a state of samadhi. When Sri Rupa Goswami says, take a bath in Radha Kund even once, take a bath in the state of samadhi. So in the state of samadhi, what do Vaishnavas see? A small glimpse of that is provided by the Vaishnav Kavi Sri Radha Vallabha Das. Dear devotees, so many Vaishnav poets, they might have written poetries and we know nothing, almost nothing about many of them. 10,000 Vaishnav songs are there approximately in all these collections by so many Vaishnavas. 10,000 songs. Imagine spending one day with one song. In 1 year, we will be able to cover 365 songs. In 10 years, we will be able to do 3,650. Or if we are good enough, maybe somebody can do 4,000 in 10 years. And in 20 years, they will be able to do 8,000 songs. 20 years, and still it will not be complete. And what to speak of if somebody does 2 songs every day? So they'll be able to spend at least 10 to 15 years relishing the various songs that the Vaishnav Kavis have written for the pleasure of all of us. This, dear devotees, is Prema Vaicittya, the third type of Viraha, separation. Finally, the fourth type of separation that Sri Rupa Goswami defines in the Ujjvala Nilamanih is Pravas. Sri Rupa Goswami defines it as follows. Purva Sangatayor Yunor Bhave Deshantaradivi Vyavadhanam tu Yat Pragyai Sapravasa Itiryate. Purva Sangatayor Yunor. So this is a translation by Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is Pravas? It is Vyavadhanam, separation of of lovers, who was Purva Sangatayor, previously intimately associated. And why is the separation? Because of deshantaradibihi, because of being in different places. So sometimes Sri Krishna travels locally. He goes to the forest. That is also called pravas. Every day he goes to graze cows. And the separation that Sri Radha experiences because Sri Krishna has gone temporarily for the day, that is also pravas. And then Sri Krishna goes to Mathura. That is when the possibility of him coming back decreases. And from there he goes to Dwarka, which is called Sudur Pravas. He's gone far away and the possibility of coming back is very slim. That is called Sudur Pravas, where Krishna has traveled to a far distance. Sri Rupa Goswami categorizes Pravas into two main categories: Buddhi Purvak and Abuddhi Purvak. Buddhi Purvak means when Krishna goes away by his own volition or for some reason, for some intelligent reason, Buddhi Purvak. That I have to kill Kamsa, so I am going away. I have to protect Pandavas, so I am going away. So this is Buddhi Purvak. I have to herd the cows, so I am going away. When there is a reason in the mind of Shri Krishna. Abuddhi Purvak means sometimes, there is a storm and Krishna doesn't return early. Due to some natural calamity, Shri Krishna stays far away. So this is not because of the desire of Krishna. It is abuddhi purvak, due to some external circumstances when it happens. Such pravas is called abuddhi purvak. Krishna promised to return in the evening, but there was a storm and Krishna could not return. So the pravas continued till late night. This is abuddhi purvak, without Krishna's desire. Of course, somebody may say everything is desired by Krishna. Yes, but we are speaking from a Lila point of view. From a Lila point of view, when the external circumstances such as weather, etc., cause Sri Krishna to remain in a distant place, it is called abuddhi purvak pravas. Dear devotees, mainly buddhi purvak. Krishna goes because he has some desire and he says, I want to go and I am going. So buddhi purvak means his choice, his volition is there. Buddhi purvak is also categorized into bhut, bhavan, bhavi. Pravas of past tense, when Sri Radha is recalling that when Sri Krishna went in the past, so that is bhuta. Bhavan means in the present, he is leaving right now on the chariot of Akrura. Bhavi means that which is going to happen in the near future. She is anxious about that. So pravas of the past, pravas of the present, pravas of the future. Bhut, bhavat, bhavi. These are the three types of pravas that have been specified by Srila Rupa Goswami. Let's take an example of present tense or bhavat. Sri Krishna is on the chariot of Akrura and he is leaving the Vrajavasis. In the Gopal Champu of Sri Jiva Goswami, there is a very heartbreaking verse that is described by Sri Jiva Goswami in the Gopal Champu. This verse is in the meter Sragdhara, one of the longest meters of Sanskrit poetry. I'll try to sing it, dear devotees. This verse is as follows. Gachannesh tvamadya spurasi dayita bhokam saghatam vidhaya स्वीकर्तुं राजतां कथमथ भवता दागतिस्ते व्रजाय तस्मादस्माभिरर्थ्यं तदिदमिह भवांस्तत्र नानाविराज तीर्थे सर्वार्थदेना स्मृतिमनुददतामञ्जलीनां त्रयाणि. Sri Radha is saying to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is saying, I will come back. Sri Radha says, don't lie. Sri Krishna, don't lie. Today is not a time for lying. Gachannesha tvamadya. Today you are going. Dear devotees, Gachan is present tense. You are going. So this is Bhavan Pravas, it is Pravas in the present tense. It is happening right now. Gachannesha tvamadya. As you are going, why are you going, Sri Krishna? Spura Sida Itabho. Oh beloved, there is something in your heart. What is in your heart? Kamsa Ghatam Vidhaya. That you wish to kill Kamsa. And for what purpose? After killing Kamsa, what will happen? Svikartum rajatam ta. For the purpose of accepting the kingdom of Mathura. And tell us, O Krishna, has a king ever returned back to become a simple cowherd again? Has it ever happened in history? It has never happened, Krishna. Don't lie, Krishna. You are terrible at lying. Katham atha bhavatan. How will it happen? Agatiste vrajaya, that you will return to Vraja. It is simply not possible. Tasma dasma virarthyam. Krishna, can you do one thing for us? One small thing we are asking you. What is that one thing? Bhavans tatra nana virajat tirthe. When you go to Mathura, there are various holy rivers and lakes there. Go to those various holy lakes. Sarvarthade. Those lakes can fulfill all desires. Naha smritim. When you go there, send us a gift. What gift? Anu dadatam anjali nam trayani. Send us a gift of 3 palms of water. Dear devotees, the hidden meaning is the 3 palms of water are only given as a gift to those who are already dead. Shri Radha and the gopis wish to say that when you leave, we will not be able to continue our lives here. You could not give anything to us when we were alive. At least give a gift to us after we die. Will you fulfill this, O Krishna? So this is the statement in Gopal Champu. O Lord of our lives, today you are entertaining thoughts of accomplishing the death of Kamsa for accepting the monarchy of Mathura. How will your return to Vraja ever be possible? Certainly it is impossible. Therefore, kindly do one last thing for us. In the various desire-fulfilling holy rivers and lakes around the city of Mathura, please remember us and send us a gift of 3 palms of water. Dear devotees, 3 palms of water are given as a gift to those who are dead. So this is what the gopis are trying to say. This is what Sri Radha is trying to say to Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, in Pravas, when Pravas occurs, Sri Rupa Goswami says that all the stages of separation simultaneously become manifest during Pravas. There are 10 stages of separation, Dasha Dasha of Viraha. What are the 10 stages of separation? These 10 stages of separation are described by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Ujjvala Nilamanih itself. What are the 10 stages? First is Chinta or anxiety. Second is Jagarana, sleeplessness, insomnia. Third is Udveg, agitation of heart. Fourth is Krishata, thinning of bodily limbs. Fifth is Malin Angata, loss of vigor in the limbs. Sixth is Pralap, blabbering. Seventh is Vyadhi, diseased condition of body. 8th is Unmad, insanity takes over. 9th is Moha, delusion. And 10th is Mrityu, almost death. These are Dasha Dasha. You can see on the screen 10 stages of separation from Shri Krishna. In Pravas, all 10 stages can become manifest. Dear devotees, for every stage there are ample number of examples. But let's take example of Mrityu. Srimati Radharani is approaching death. But of course, she is not going to die. But she wants to die. She wants to die. In the Padavali, Sri Rupa Goswami specifies this verse that she utters when she is near the stage of Mrityu. This verse is in the meter Harini. I sang one such verse today. Again, I am singing the same meter. Dalati hridayam gadodvegam dvedhanatu vidyate bahati vikalam kayo murcham namunchati chetanam jwalayati tanum antardah karoti na bhasmasat प्रहरति विधिर्मर्मच्छेदि न कृन्तति जीवितम् दलति हृदयम गाढ़ उद्वेगम द्विधानतु भिद्यते. Gaढ़ udveg. This udveg, I specified one of the 10 stages of separation is udveg. This tremendous anxiety in my heart is pounding my heart. But there is only one problem. My heart will not break into two pieces. Because if my heart breaks in two pieces, my suffering will end. But destiny has not written the end of suffering for me today. Pahati vikalam kayo murcham. Murcha. My body will again and again become stunned, faint. I will faint again and again. But only problem is namunchati chetanam. It will not faint permanently. I am not dying. If I faint permanently, my suffering will end. But today destiny is very cruel towards me. Jwalayati tanum antardah. There is a fire within me which is weakening my limbs, my body. See, this is Krishata, Malinangata. You know, all the stages. The body limbs are becoming thinner. The bodily limbs are weakening. Karoti na bhasmasat. The only problem is this fire within me doesn't fully burn my body. If it will fully burn my body, my suffering will end. But today, destiny is playing a cruel joke upon me. Therefore, my body is not getting burnt. Praharati vidhir marma chedi vidhi, the creator, fate. It is wounding my heart. It is hammering my heart. My soul is being hammered. Nakrintati jivitam. The only problem is that my soul is not breaking into two pieces. My life is not leaving my body. Because destiny has some other cruel plans for me today. These, dear devotees, are so many dashas being experienced together. So many bhavas, so many emotions together. And she is experiencing murcha. She is experiencing fainting. She is experiencing udveg, anxiety at heart. She is experiencing thinning of limbs. When many bhavas are experienced together, it is called bhava shabalata, a mixture of various emotions together. Dear devotees. But Mrityu, death is not coming to her. This, dear devotees, is Sri Rupa Goswami specifying what happens to Sri Radha when Sri Krishna goes away to a distant place. The Vaishnav poet Sri Chandidas expresses this in a beautiful pada. Piya gela dura deshe ham abhagini shunite na bahirai e papa parani. Piya gele dur deshe hama abhagini. My beloved went to a distant land. Hama abhagini, I am such an unfortunate wretch that even after hearing that my love has gone away, my sinful soul did not leave my body. Shunite na bahirai e papa parani. Even after hearing, my sinful soul did not leave my body. Look at my condition. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear these songs. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would cry out loudly, dear devotees. This is the purpose for which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had appeared. Sri Chandidas says, Arasha sangari mora sadamana jure he mana gune rani di lae gela pare. Parasha means parasha. Remembering his touch, sangari, smari, remembering his touch, sada manjure, my mind reels in anxiety now. This is udveg, one of the stages of separation. He mana gune rani di lae gela pare. Someone, that Akrura, took away from me that ocean of delightful love. Everything was snatched away from me by that Akrura. Kahare kahi base ani dibe more rotana chhariya gela heliya sagare. Kahare kahi base. Whom should I request? Ani dibe more, to bring him back to me. Is there anybody who can bring him back? I'll fall at their feet. I'll become their servant. If somebody can bring him back today. Ratana chhadiya gele. He was a fool. He did not understand my love. Pheliya sagare. He threw his jewel of prema in an ocean and left me. Dear devotees. Garala guliya deha jivaru pare chhadiva parana mora ikaj sharire. Garala means poison and guliya means goli, a tablet of poison. Garala guliya deva jivara upare. Please give a tablet of poison on my tongue. Chhadiva parana mora. I'll give up my life heirs. Ki kaj sharire. What is the point of maintaining this useless body? Chandidas kahe ke na e mati karibe kanu se parana nidhi apana milibe apana milibe apana milibe. Chandidas kahe. Chandidas says, oh Radha, kena imati karibe. Why do you act like this? Kanu se parana nidhi apana milibe. Certainly Kanu, Sri Krishna, the source of your life, will meet you again soon. So dear devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard all of these songs from the mouth of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami. And he used to cry in separation from Sri Krishna. Sri Narottama Das Thakura, he says that by hearing the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati, etc., Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to cry. But why should he cry? Radhikara Pranapati, ki bhave kandaya niti. Iha bujhe bhakat samaj. Sri Narottama Das Thakura says, is he Radha or is he Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Radhika or Pranapati. He is actually Shri Krishna, the life of Shri Radha. Ki bhave kandayaniti. Why and in what different moods is he crying constantly? Iha bujhe bhakat samaj. If you want to know this secret, only the confidential group of his close devotees know this secret, dear devotees. What is Sri Radha's love? What is the glory of Sri Radha's love? What is the extent of Sri Radha's love, and what is the sweetness of Sri Radha's love? To experience this, Shri Krishna became Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to understand the love that Shri Radha has, one must take a bath at least once in Shri Radha Kund, dear devotees. These were the various types of separation that Shri Radha experiences. Next time onwards, we will begin with union, and we will see the types of union that Shri Radha experiences. Because separation and union are two embankments of Radha Prem, the love of Shri Radha. And if we wish to attain that love of Shri Radha, if we wish to experience to some degree the love that Shri Radha experiences, as her maid servant, dear devotees, it is only possible if Shri Radha Kund becomes merciful upon all of us. May that Shri Radha Kund bestow its mercy upon all of us. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. If I made any mistakes, dear devotees, in today's presentation, vidvamsa, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct those mistakes. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit, if there's anything nice about today's presentation, please understand tad guroreva. All these are Gurujanas. Chandidas, Vidyapati, Sri Jaidev Goswami. May nahi. I didn't write any single song. All of the songs are from the Gurujanas. May nahi. They do not belong to me. So, thank you very much, dear devotees. Thank you, Param Karuna Prabhu. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hari Pārṣad Prabhu ki jai. I'm speechless. I would say emotion-filled. I will even say sad class. Sad in the not the class, but the content. That whole emotion is just.
You should cry for Krishna. The entire purpose of life. When Uddhav came to Vrindavan, he came to tell the Vrajavasis that you should not cry. But later he realized, if I tell this to the Vrajavasis, I am speaking against Shastra. Because the entire point of Shastra is to cry for Krishna. And the Vrajavasis are doing exactly that. How can I tell the Vrajavasis not to cry for Sri Krishna? So it's very good, Prabhu, to cry for Sri Krishna and to feel sadness for Sri Krishna. So I'm very happy that devotees are sad. But I'll make them happy next time.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, the way you took the whole, all of us, the class in the way, you captured that mood so wonderfully. At least I'm feeling that sadness from these verses that you selected, some of the choicest verses perhaps. I'm just feeling how much there is, like you mentioned, 4,000, 8,000. Wow. When will we ever?
There's so many poets, Govinda Das, their poet who wrote Bhaja Hure Mana Shri Nanda Nandana. And at the end he says Govinda Das Abhila. He is a major padakarta, major songwriter who writes on so many moods. There is Gyana Das, who is such an expert songwriter. My goodness, these people are expert of experts in their field, Prabhu. Somebody should learn how to relish these songs. And then the entire universe of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Lila opens up for them. But it only needs a person who will venture into this direction. So that is what it is, Prabhu.
It needs a able guide as well too, so that we don't get lost in the venture. Anyway, so we'll come back to the real world, or this world, from the beautiful immersion into Vipralamba, which you so nicely took us to. Okay, so we are entering the Q&A. Before we go there, I wanted to make a few announcements. And the first thing that I wanted to bring up was that, like Prabhuji said in the beginning of the class, we are nearing the end. Very sadly, we are nearing the end. I really, really hope Prabhuji starts something new soon, so that we don't have the feeling of Vipralamba for these classes from Prabhuji. When you said that, I felt that wave of, oh my God, you know, we will miss these beautiful understandings from you, your mood and your explanations, and how you bring out this. We don't want to miss that. But anyway, this series is going to end soon, like you said. And this is a final call. I will share my screen here. Is my screen showing up? Announcement. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is a final call, since Prabhuji, as you can see, is taking so much time to make these beautiful presentations. It's not just these 3 hours. It's like the 30 hours behind the scenes that Prabhuji is putting up. So we want to reciprocate in whatever way possible to enable Prabhuji to continue to do this seva without having to worry about, you know, a whole lot of other things. And one small thing that can help in this is some dakshina. So this is the last and final call for the dakshina. We have been doing this a couple of times before. So here is a small thing I will just read out for all of your, you can see and hear. So our series on Upadeshamritam, dear devotees, is coming to a conclusion. Only 2 or 3 sessions remain now. We are on the final verse, the 11th verse. And my name is Param Karuna Das, would like to take this opportunity, and I'm sure I'm speaking for Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu as well, who's en route to India. And we would like to take this opportunity to make an announcement regarding the series. This series on Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam is primarily meant to facilitate learning the text in a deep, systematic manner through the commentaries of so many acharyas, like Prabhuji brings out Sri Radharamana Goswami, Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, and of course the primary acharya Srila Rupa Goswami, assisted by the commentaries of Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So much is there, and he has brought it out so deeply. And the way Prabhuji has brought it out, it's not affiliated to any institution, any institute and all that. So of course, no certificates or anything will be issued. There's no attendance being kept either, who attended, who doesn't, and devotees are following online also on YouTube. And all these sessions are free to attend for all the devotees. There was never any charge or any entry fee or anything like that. And even for asking queries, the WhatsApp group is just buzzing with questions. Even while the class was going, there was Q&A going on the Upadeshamritam WhatsApp group. And Prabhuji has answered so many questions. He has generously put, or he thinks, I was talking to him, 700. I think the number is more. Anyway, and these add so much value to the talk. At the same time, we all understand that a proper yajna or sacrifice is accompanied by voluntary. Voluntary is a key word here. Charity, known as dakshina. Bhagavad Gita, in the 3 modes of where Lord Krishna is explaining in the 17th chapter, he says that any yajna without dakshina is considered in the tamoguna, or in the mode of ignorance. So, but the dakshina is always voluntary. So therefore, those who wish to give voluntary dakshina can do these things. So please make a note of these, some logistical details. If you are part of the Upadeshamritam WhatsApp group, a new poll will be put up. So please vote in that poll, expressing your desire to contribute using that WhatsApp poll. And this poll will be posted shortly after the class is done today. And if you vote, it means you are indicating your desire to offer dakshina for Prabhuji. And I will make a list of the devotees, and I will contact you. And there's an emphasis on me a lot in this because of the fraud, and a lot of like money is involved, so people can, fraud. So that's the reason why there you will see an emphasis on my name here and no other reason. So I will contact you for those who have volunteered to give dakshina. So this is my phone number, so you can make a note of it. US is +1, and then 971-563-2904. So again, anybody can say their name is Param Karuna Das, but they cannot impersonate the phone number at least. So, or that is hard to do unless they, break into AT&T or Verizon's, system, which is much, much harder. Just assuming name Param Karuna Das is much easier. So please make sure that it is this number, or make a note of this number. And my email address is also given here, pkds108@gmail.com. So this is my email address. Again, it is hard to impersonate that. So please do not entertain any messages from any other phone number or any other email in this matter. If you are not, so basically the point is, if you decide to, or if you choose to donate, you will get a WhatsApp or email from me. And these are my, the email or WhatsApp will originate from this number or email address. Please check that. If you're not part of the group and are watching this recording, you can send me an email directly on this email address. So hopefully all this is getting recorded on the screen. And pkds108@gmail.com. You can email me expressing your desire to give dakshina. You can also specify your WhatsApp if you would like. And again, I will email you back or WhatsApp you back from my number. From no other number you should entertain any conversation, from my number and my email. And then I will send you the instructions on how to donate whatever you want to donate. There is no amount that is too small or too big. Whatever, it's completely up to your desire. Some devotees asked me in the past how much to donate. I said it's completely up to your desire based on your capacity. And if you are not able to donate, just your sweet and simple prayers for Prabhuji's well-being and his continued immersion in the Shastra and sharing it with all of us is also wonderful. So again, as I have said number of times, only I will contact you for seeking dakshina. And so please do not, only that after you have volunteered to give, otherwise I won't contact. And no other devotee, even Hari Pārṣad Prabhu or Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu will not be contacting you. So please just keep me only as the origin of any communication regarding Dakshina. And again, we are just trying to be super careful to make sure no fraudulent people take advantage of this, because these classes are going online on YouTube, and people may take advantage of it, and it has happened in the past. So yeah, in case you are unable to give any donation, that's all totally fine. Please note that the series is completely free to attend, and everyone is most welcome to attend, and there is no loss of any affection or any hard feeling, anything like that. Some are able to donate, some are not. That's perfectly fine. And if you are not able to give, that's totally fine. And for those who have already given Dakshina, please, no need to respond to the poll unless you would like to offer Dakshina again. Dakshina can be offered any number of times. But if you are going to indicate in the poll, then it means you are desiring to give Dakshina. But if you have donated, no need to poll just because you had donated in the past. Okay. I hope that is clear. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees, for your kind support towards Prabhuji, who has taken so much effort to bring this, churn this literature so much. He has, I don't think any, we have such a deep understanding of Upadeshamritam, and through these 11 verses, a much deeper understanding of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, and so much more that Prabhuji has taken the opportunity to take us into. So it's not just a straight line. He took us into all the, small deviations, not small, even large deviations, sort of to explore. Like, just through this 11th verse, we are getting an understanding so deeply about Vipralambha. So I'm so grateful to Prabhuji and to all the devotees for their kind support and appreciation for Prabhuji. So once again, those who are not viewing this live and are instead viewing a recording, you could contact me by this email, pkds108@gmail.com, if you wish to offer Dakshina at any time in the future. So not just during the series, even 1 year, 2 years later, if you are watching, you can contact me and we can enable the Dakshina to reach Hari Parshad Prabhuji. Okay, and those who are right now in the part of the WhatsApp, you can indicate it through your desire through the poll, which we will circulate today. I hope that announcement, sorry, it was a long announcement. This is the last announcement we will do on Dakshina. So I hope that is clear. Okay. Now we will transition to question answers, which is our most interesting part, where we churn even more. So like Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu does a wonderful job of the sort of the guidelines to maintain. So I have, I'll just repeat those, that please ask questions that are related to the class today, and or of this entire topic or theme, and questions that are very specific to some other topics or even this topic, but very specific, which need some research or looking up. Please feel free to ask in the WhatsApp group, and Prabhuji will and other devotees can have the opportunity to do research and respond back. Please focus your questions on the topic, and keep them institution or person neutral. So please do not focus or what about this institution or this acharya said this or this devotee said that. So let's keep it institution and personality neutral. And please keep your questions short and to the point, and ask one question at a time, and then we can round robin into second, third, fourth rounds. As you know, Prabhuji is so generous with his time, so we can do lots of Q&A, but in a round robin manner. Anything else, Prabhuji, we missed?
No, in general, they say if you have somebody has a very specific question from a specific reference, then maybe it is better to ask that in the group, so that I'll be able to look up the reference and then answer accordingly, so that I don't have to immediately pull out an obscure reference. So if there is a question based on an obscure reference, then better to ask it in the group. That's all.
Okay. So with that, we will start with the Q&A. First question will from Jai Dwarka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Brother Pranam, Prabhuji, thank you so much for once again another wonderful presentation, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, actually, I had a question from this point, that we say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has offered something which was never ever offered before. So amongst these all levels of premas, so can you please help us understand what was the specific contribution of Mahaprabhu? And before Mahaprabhu, uh, although that thing was not offered, but previous levels of premas were offered before Mahaprabhu. But we generally do not see, or maybe I may not be knowing about the sampradayas which offer so much of detail about the bhajan pranali also, how to proceed. So can you please name a few of such sampradayas, so that we can understand that?
See, even before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared, there are 4 Vaishnava Acharyas. One of the Vaishnava Acharyas is Shri Nimbaditya, or Shri Nimbarkacharya, in whose sampradaya the worship of Radha Krishna is prevalent even before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the level of the depth to which it was explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was experienced by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the depth to which Sri Rupa Goswami takes it in his writings, that is unprecedented, especially the focus on Sri Radha's Bhava and Sri Radha's Samartharati, and all the developments of Samartharati all the way up till Madanakya Mahabhava. So that is unique. And then there is a bhajan pranali which is centered around that particular Samartharati and how to execute that bhajan. This was all explained by Sri Rupa Goswami by the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is what is unique, Prabhu.
Okay, so but only the Modanakya Mahabhava was the unique contribution, and before that, because they are also available in Dwarka Queens also, and that was available even before Mahaprabhu. So those stages of development, like Prema, Sneha, Man, Pranaya until Anurag, was that available before Mahaprabhu also? And was that specific details of bhajan, how to go and practice in the mood of those devotees in that Dwarka Dham? So was that also available before Mahaprabhu?
Before Mahaprabhu also, let's say, even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are so many examples of devotees who attained the various moods. Like there are the sages at Dandakaranya who became gopis in their next life. But it was very, very rarely offered to people in general previously. Very specific people who had that devotional piety to themselves take upon the journey into the depths of bhakti. Only they took it up previously. But with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it became available to many individuals around the world, and especially by the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami. And especially previously also, they would access the mood. Previously also, devotees could access the mood of Dwaraka. But the detailed categorization, that what are the moods experienced in Dwarka, etc., the framework was not available previously. This framework was given by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it was revealed to the world by Sri Rupa Goswami. So the framework of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the framework of Ujjvala Nilamanih was not available, although the devotees were experiencing the various moods. But Sri Rupa Goswami put words on those moods. He gave individual terms. He put names on each and every mood. So that is what is the unique contribution of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much, Puri, for
Thank
answering
you.
that.
Thank you. We'll go to Kamniya Krishna Prabhu and Kamla Mataji.
Hare Krishna Babuji, Dhanwad Pranam to your Lotus
Pranams.
feet. at Denver Palm to Palm Prabhu and Dhammaswami Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as Param Karuna Prabhu said, it's really speechless, you know. You basically placed us into the relishment, into the separation mode, so which is a kind of a completely amazing. And you gave us so much nectar from the different, acharyas, especially, and how Mahaprabhu has listened them. So, Prabhuji, in fact, it was like quite displeasing for me that there are so many Vaishnava songs, which, as you mentioned, numbers. I'm like feeling sad that probably in our lifetime, I guess I will not be able to hear forget about the relishment, but so we have to some kind of a mercy to listen them more. So Babuji, as the you describe various uh, acharyas like Vidyapati, Chandidas, and then so when this so my like I was wondering that what kind of a inner driving force or what kind of a contemplation they will be, I don't know, doing while writing this kind of a songs, basically. Because this song, like, it is so beautiful songs you have, presented us couple of in a different modes from the uh, um, viewpoint of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. So what made them to, is it just a purely mercy of Bhagwan that they are able to write and contemplate, or how? Because unless you enter into that kind of a, thought process, because these are the very minute level. For example, you mentioned when Sri Krishna was lying on the lap of Sri Radha on the right side. And so it is a very small incident, but it was, described very nicely and broadly. So what kind of a driving force for them, what kind of a thinking or what kind of a literature they would be reading it.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it is very amazing that there are a few poets who were before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why is Sri Chandidas and Sri Vidyapati special? Because they are pre-Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They did not have the framework of Srila Rupa Goswami. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami gave the framework, then there were thousands of poets in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. You correctly said the thousands of songs. I'll give you a small hint. See, Prabhu, this is the book Vaishnav Padavali, 1220 pages. You can see here 1220 pages of Vaishnav songs. And I'll show you a small sample. Let's just go to a random page, like let's say page 100. You can see there are 2-3 songs on every page. And there are all these songs, page after page after page after page after page of songs. So thousands of pages. These are simply Vaishnav songs, simply related to Gaudiya Vaishnavism, simply related to Sri Krishna Lila. So this is what it is. And let's say this is one song, Shri Radhar Bhavollas, the joyous development of Bhav of Shri Radha. And this is by Shri Vidyapati. So this is Vidyapati's song. And there are so many poets, whose songs have been mentioned. This is a list of the poets. First is Jayadev, Chandidas, Vidyapati, and Gunaraj Khan. These are either Mahaprabhu's contemporaries or previous to Mahaprabhu. And this is a list of poets after Mahaprabhu. Rai Ramanand, Murari Gupta, Narhari Sarkar, Govind Ghosh, Madhav Ghosh, Vasudev Ghosh, Sri Rup Goswami, Vasu Ramanand, Ramanand Das. So many poets. Simply, if he makes a list of poets, he has made a list of poets. And this list of poets has gone above 100. So if every poet composes 40 songs, so if we 100 poets and 40 songs, how many songs will that be? This is more than 200 actually. So 200 poets and every poet composes 40 songs. It's 8,000 songs, Prabhuji. Easily. So what to speak of studying them. And then there are Muslim poets there who became Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and then they wrote poetry, and he's made a separate section for that also. So the person who compiled this, his name was Hare Krishna Mukhopadhyay. His name was Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mukhopadhyay. So he compiled all of this in one book, Vaishnav Padavali. I managed to scan this book and upload it so that anybody who wants to access this literature in the future, they will have access to this literature. It is available for free now. And what is the mood of especially those poets who appeared before Mahaprabhu? How did they get to that point, a very specific point where they are, so much in tune with the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It takes a very special type of, a devotional mood cultivated over many lifetimes to come to a specific point. It cannot happen in one lifetime. Such, just like we say, when Mozart started playing the piano for the first time, it was as if he had played it for lifetimes before. Similarly, when Sri Chandidas and Sri Vidyapati, they write poetry, it's as if they have, over many, many thousands of lifetimes, they have relished these moods. Of course, because they are, eternally liberated associates. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna also sends them at a specific time, so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can relish these various moods. So that is what it is. So it takes a very specific type of devotional cultivation over lifetimes to come to that particular mood. And there are very, very few, one or two or three songwriters who are like that. Actually, a sannyasi is not supposed to listen to music and songs. He's not supposed to listen to music and songs. One of the criticisms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kashi, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Kashi, was that, this is a sannyasi who sings and dances. So, this particular criticism was because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was listening to the songs of Chandidas and Vidyapati. And this is what, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an instruction to a sannyasi, what a sannyasi should not do. Na asat shastreshu sajjeta, in 7.13.7. Na asat shastreshu sajjeta. And you can see what Prabhupada says, not asat shastra, literature like newspapers, novels, dramas and fiction. Basically, this includes all the poetry, romance, etc. Sajjeta, one should not indulge in, one should not be attached to reading them. So this is in the chapter behavior of a perfect person, behavior of a sannyasi. So 7.13.7 says very clearly that a sannyasi should not engage in listening and singing songs, and especially if they have a romantic flavor in them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got criticized a lot because of singing Jaidev, Goswami, Chandidas and Vidyapati. But these were the only poets who were very close to his heart, because they expressed exactly what was going on in his heart. There are many other songs of Sri Chandidas. Actually, in one song, Chandidas predicts the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I cannot bring it out right now. So, Sri Chandidas predicts, Sri Radha says to Krishna, in future you will experience. But I'll not bring it out right now. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read those songs, he knew this was written for him. This was written for him, nobody else. So this is what it is, Prabhuji. It is only by
Thank you.
Krishna's arrangement that
Yeah,
somebody like
thank-
Sri Chandidas and Sri Vidyapati come into this world in order to facilitate his mood. So that is what I can say at this point of time.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Very wonderful answer. Thank you. I do have a second question, but I will come to in the next round.
Sure,
Thank
Prabhu.
you so much.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamya Krishna Prabhuji. Okay, we'll go next to Nilachal Chandrika Mataji. able to unmute, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask, like these songs, we have very limited Vaishnava Acharya songs. How do we, if you can give us some guidelines, how do we learn them? I mean, that we can read them, but how do we sing them? Any guidelines? How to do that? How to learn them?
Singing, you have to hear from somebody who is an existing singer. I don't consider myself as a very great singer or good singer, but I try to sing because it's only through singing that you can experience these moods. And when you hear existing Vaishnavas who sing, then you can pick up a few of the tunes. Each song is in a particular rag, and in that book, Vaishnav Padavali, the compiler, Sri Hare Krishna Mukhopadhyay, he has given the rag of the various padas. For example, you can see here Shri Radhar Ukti, Shri Radha's statement. Then Baradi means Baradi rag. So before every song, there is a rag mentioned. This is Patamanjari rag. And so like this, Suhai, Mallar. So these are various ragas in which you can sing. Tatha rag, Uddhav Goshtha, Uttar Goshtha. So, the reply. Jalakeli, the playing in the water. So many pastimes. You can spend your life. If you know the various ragas, you can try to sing. See, I'm neither an expert musician, nor do I know the Sanskrit literature much better than I know Bangla literature. But whatever little I know, I try to sing.
Because the normal tunes which we know is that Chaitanya Charitamrita, how we sing. So most of the tunes are in that.
Yeah, but many of them will not help you sing the songs. For the songs, you will need different.
Yeah.
That is
But
what.
are there any Vaishnavas who are singing such songs, or it's just I searched the YouTube, there's hardly.
This you'll hardly find.
Yeah.
If you take it up by yourself, maybe you can try to do something. If you are self-driven.
Yeah.
The reason why I took up exploration in this direction is because I was eager to understand. Otherwise, there is very little or practically no help in this regard. Sanskrit literature, there's a lot of help because there are commentaries. Many of the songs of Sri Chandidas, there is no commentary. So what to do? Like the song of Sri Radha Vallabh Das, it doesn't mention that Krishna was sitting in which on Sri Radha's lap in which direction. It's only after reading the song a few times do you understand what was the situation that was going on. On many of the songs, there are no tikas or no commentaries. What to do? You just have to, I do these things because even one good discovery makes your day. That is why you should try to explore. That is what I can say.
Yeah, we can pray and try.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay,
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, so yeah, in that same spirit, I had a question.
Yeah.
A comment and question that, like you have these songs, and especially like in the Ujjvala Nilamanih, you brought out many references and of Vipralambha, of the various aspects of Vipralambha. There are some English translations available. I don't know if any commentaries, like you said, commentaries really help. Like on the Bhagavatam, we have some commentaries where we can understand what's really the mood and the theme of a verse. But such may not be available. Just if English translation itself is available is a lot to ask for some of these more advanced esoteric literatures. But I feel that knowing the theory before going into these is so much more important, which makes these relishable, like in the verses that you were reciting, the fact that these are in this specific mood of Vipralambha, I forget the third one,
Prema Vaicittya.
Prema Bhakti is not mentioned in the verse, but you were able to, I'm assuming, I mean, in the lack of commentaries, you very nicely connected that verse that this is Prema Vaicittya. And after understanding what is Prema Vaicittya, and then we read the verse, it makes total sense that yes, it is.
Right.
But if I were to read Ujjvala Nilamanih, let's say, I mean, I'm not eligible or I'm not even qualified to do that, but somebody were to do that, you may completely miss the point. And it may still be a very nice and sweet reading, but that understanding, I mean, I'm a technical, like an engineer by profession. When I understand that and I'm hearing a technical talk, it makes so much more sense when I'm able to, connect it with the past theory that I understand. My children, for example, attend some mathematics talks, and I sometimes go with them. And for me, it's like, and they are relishing, and I'm like, sitting there and not relishing. So in that same spirit, it's so much more, I feel it's so much more important to understand the theory. And then when we go into these literatures, we can double, triple, or, 10x the relishment of
Exactly.
What do you say about that?
See, for me, it was very clear that these literatures are directly connected to my personal spiritual happiness. So I'm not reading because I have to clear an exam and answer a few questions. I am reading because the more I understand, the more my personal dimensions of spiritual happiness open up. And that is the reason why I should understand each and every nook and corner of what our acharyas have given. Once you understand the framework, see these various poets after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they knew the framework of Sri Rupa Goswami. Therefore, before their poetry, they write, Radhar Man, the man of Sri Radha, Purva Raga of Sri Radha. They write it because they know this is the topic. One who has read Sri Rupa Goswami, they will understand what I'm speaking about. So when we read Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in an essay on the Bhagavatam, how the Bhagavatam should be read. Have you read that, Prabhuji, that essay, notes on the Bhagavatam?
No, but from the topic, I immediately want to read it. From the topic
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he, he wrote a small essay, maybe this was a speech or something like that. He wrote a small essay upon, the Bhagavatam, and I'll share my screen and I'll just like to share a few small excerpts from that. This is his notes on the Bhagavat, and you can probably read what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says.
We love to read a book which we never read before. We are anxious to gather whatever information is contained in it. And with such acquirement, our curiosity stops. This mode of study prevails amongst a great number of readers who are great men in their own estimation, as well as in the estimation of those who are of their own stamp. In fact, most readers are mere repositories of facts and statements made by other people, but this is not study. The student is to read the facts with a view to create and not with the object of fruitless retention.
This is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Let's say if I explain to you, a particular concept from Srila Rupa Goswami's book, and then I say that, then I tell you that, try to find an example of this from the Gopal Champu. Then you have to be very careful when you're reading Gopal Champu, because all the characteristics of Man, let's say I tell you, find an example of Man from Gopal Champu. So to find a verse where all the characteristics of Man have to be present. But for that, you have to understand what Man is in all the details. So when you study for the purpose of discovering something or creating something new, that is when you have to be very precise in your study. And that is what Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, says. He says, perhaps students like satellite should reflect whatever light they receive from the authors and not imprison the facts and thoughts. Because some people will read, Rupa Goswami said, Ratirya Sangamat Purvam, Purva Raga is before they meet each other, and that should stop the discussion and, nothing more. But in every generation, you need people who can add to that. So before, till the generation of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, there were padakartas, there were poets who were writing poetries. That's how we got 8,000, 10,000 poems. How did we get 8,000 or 10,000 songs? Because these devotees were reading Sri Rupa Goswami with an aim to create something new. However, the sad part of today's Vaishnavism is that nobody is writing anything new. And they're not creating anything new. Hardly, there may be a few people you can count on your fingers who are creating something new. Most people are happy by saying, we will follow as it is. Yes, you will follow as it is. But the person who said as it is, Srila Prabhupada, he himself composed new poetry, Guitar Gan. He rendered the entire Bhagavad Gita into Bangla. There is a Guitar Gan by Srila Prabhupada. He himself was a composer of poetry and verses. So where is the new creation? Where is the creativity? Where is the artistic nature? So if it is just simply about I will follow as it is and I will show everybody how closely I am sticking to to my Gurujanas. So it is simply a sham display of one side. It has no contribution to the Sampradaya. So in order to give happiness to the Sampradaya, we should have some contribution towards the Sampradaya. What is Rupa Goswami expecting from us? If Rupa Goswami sees us today, what is he expecting from us? What is he? That you simply mug up my book and then just repeat it as it is to others. Is he expecting that, or is he expecting that you understand what I have given and you make it accessible to the world and make it relevant to the world and make others experience this? And if required, translate it into languages and explain it to a people who do not understand the language that I speak, but convey my message in a unique way to others. But for that, you need to be a poet yourself. Without being a poet, it is not possible to truly understand Srila Rupa Goswami. Let's just put it in one sentence. Unless you are a poet yourself, you will not be able to fully understand Srila Rupa Goswami. And therefore, one of the 26 qualities of a Vaishnava is Kavi, that he should be a poet. And Srila Prabhupada was that poet. The previous acharyas were. And today, if we are happy in not being poets, everything is already there. What do I need to write anything new? Everything is already there. And still you need to write something new. That is how you call it a movement, Hare Krishna movement. Otherwise, we will become Hare Krishna stagnant. After 500 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the name of as it is, we stagnated the movement. So that should not happen. So let's...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so for that, in short, I'll say, one needs to be a poet in order to understand Sri Rupa Goswami. Very quickly, I will say there are two types of students who study mathematics. Somebody who just wants to study mathematics so that he can clear an exam, get into a university and earn money in the future. And somebody who studies mathematics because mathematics is the love of his life. So you can apply the same to Sri Rupa Goswami. Somebody may study Sri Rupa Goswami because they want to clear a certificate exam and get a degree, and maybe go on the Vyasasana and quote a few fancy verses. And then somebody may want to study Sri Rupa Goswami because Sri Rupa Goswami is the love of his life. That's a different These are the differences in students. So that is what I'd like to say.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. In the same spirit, I'll since it's the same flow, I will continue and violate probably partially the rule about round robin, but it's the same flow which I don't want to break, if you're okay with it.
Sure, Prabhuji.
That, like you made very, very important point about the movement, continuing the tradition or the movement. And there I see that there are sort of two roughly sort of, I would say, categories I would break down. One is like where there are devotees who are writing maybe like things like summary studies or guidebooks, study guides, or those kind of, things, condensed version, XYZ, those kind of, that's one. But that's not what you're talking about. Or their personal realizations like diaries or whatever, they go and meet people and, all those book distribution stories, wonderful ones. However, there is this thing that, like you have also mentioned, our wonderful acharyas have gone into samadhi and visualized these pastimes and written them down. So there is that sort of, obviously, the feeling of, I would imagine, of course, I'm just imagining this. I'm not speaking for myself at all by any stretch here, that one may feel that, hey, I haven't had that stage, so I'm not. If some nonsense comes out of my pen, that would end up being a disservice. So how does one, what do you say about that sort of sense, out of a sense of humility and as well as a sense of genuine incapability, or that one refrains from writing and in that sense continuing the tradition?
The heart of a poet is such that it is brimming with devotional thoughts. At one point of time, it becomes so much that the poet cannot contain himself or herself. They want to express themselves to the world. Usually, a poet takes utmost precaution to first learn the art and understand the mood of the previous acharyas nicely. There are some poets, poor poets, they are called as Adham Kavya, Adham Kavi, who don't study the previous acharyas and just start directly writing poetry. Their poetry does not become much respected in society anyways, because future generations will always check your poetry against the standards given by the previous acharyas. If you are confident that you have understood those standards nicely, and if your heart is brimming with realizations, why not put a pen to paper and give expression to those thoughts before they disappear from your heart forever? These poets wrote them down because when you get a good idea, when you get a good spurti, you should write it down, so that, because 1 week later you won't remember what it was, what you were remembering 1 week ago. So poets capture their spurtis so that they themselves and others can also relish those spurtis. And those who are afraid, the very simple thing is their bhakti is under the mode of fear. So that is not a valid platform for being a composer of songs or verses. Such people should not, ideally not indulge in writing anything, because they are already operating under the mode of fear. Somebody who has overcome the fear because they have studied nicely and because their heart is brimming with realizations, they should definitely write. So, Mohit Prabhu is showing a verse from Sri Harishuri, is given in the comments. सौभाग्यास्पदमेकमस्ति महिला भालेषु चेत् कुङ्कुमम् सौभाग्य प्रतिपादनाय तदलं किं तत्र भूषान्तरै एवं मत कविता प्रगल्भ वनिता सौभाग्य संधायकम मुख्यम श्रीपति भूषणम विजयते न्यास्ताम नवालंकृति. He is so bold in his writing, Sri Harishuri. Saubhagyaspodam ekam asti mahila bhaleshu. There's only one indication of good fortune on a lady's forehead. And what is that indication? Kumkumam. Or the kumkum, sindur she puts. Saubhagya pratipadanaya. For indicating her good fortune, she only needs one ornament, which is her kumkum. Kim tatra bhushantarai. What is the need for any other ornament on her forehead, on her body? Evam mat kavita. Similarly, my poetry, because kavita is striling, she's a lady. My poetry is also such a bold lady. She doesn't care for any ornament. Second meaning of ornament is figure of speech. She doesn't care for any ornament. Mukhyam Shripati Bhushanam. As long as Sri Krishna's kumkum is present on her forehead, I will write Anyastam Navalankriti. Let there be no other ornament. Only let Sri Krishna's glories be the kumkum on the forehead of my poetry. So you can see the mood. This is the mood of a poet. He is not, oh, if I make a deviation, then I will be condemned to eternal hell. That is the mood of a person who's frightened. Such a person cannot become a poet. But the mood of a poet is, better to have loved and lost rather than never have loved at all. That's the mood of a poet. If I make a mistake or two here, people will correct it. Yadatra khalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat. People will correct any mistake in the future. Doesn't mean that I'll be so afraid that I'll never write anything. So that those who are afraid, those people cannot be poets. Even in the writings of the great poets, some people have found some, like Kalidas, Magh. Some people have found some grammatical inconsistencies even in the writings of Kalidas. It doesn't mean that Kalidas will stop writing. Kalidas has to write. Indian culture is Indian culture because Kalidas is present. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is Gaudiya Vaishnavism because Chandidas is there. If these people would become afraid of errors and mistakes and this and that, then who will write? So these people are not operating under fear. That is what you can clearly see through their writings. They are not performing that bhakti out of the fear of violating Shastra. Their bhakti is clearly in a different line. That is what we can say.
Wonderful. One just small point or question here, that poetry or does like essays or in like Bhagavatam, if we link, I see this connection from this verse to this verse and writing a short a page essay, does that also count as, in your opinion, writing?
You have absolute freedom to select your mode of expression. Why don't you write a haiku on Sri Krishna? You know what's a haiku?
No.
Okay. So I'll tell you what a haiku is. So a haiku is a Japanese poetic form, and I'll share my screen with you. This is what a haiku is. So haiku is a Japanese poetic form that consists of 3 lines with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 in the third. So 5, 7, 5. 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second line, 5 in the third line. That's the restriction. All right. One of the most famous haikus is the haiku on the frog. This is a, this is a haiku. Of course, it's in Japanese. The first line says an old silent pond. Second line says a frog jumps. And third line says splash. That's it. In the original Japanese, it is 575. Right? But in these 3 lines, the poet manages to convey a distinct picture. An old silent pond, a frog jumps, splash. This is haiku. So why not write a haiku? If you are a poet, there is no restriction. Apare kavya samsare kavireva prajapatihi yathasmai rochate vishwam tathedam parivarte. In Agni Puran, Vyasadeva says the universe of poetry is endless and the poet is Lord Brahma. If you are the poet, you are the Lord Brahma of your universe of poetry. You decide how you wish to create your poetry. That you do not have to ask me. When you are a poet, you are self-guided. And that freedom is given to you. That jewel of freedom is given to somebody who is expert in writing poetry. So that is what I would like to say. But first, one should learn the art nicely, study the previous authorities nicely before one puts pen on paper. Because one doesn't want to learn by making embarrassing mistakes. At least learn what the previous acharyas have given. So 3 things are needed. First, the knowledge of the grammar of the language in which you are writing, that is needed. Grammar knowledge, whichever language you may select, you should know the grammar. Second, you should know the dictionaries. Third, you should know the writings of the previous great poets in that language, what style they adopted. Once you know these three things, then you are on your way to becoming a poet yourself. That is what. All right.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, we'll have Anant Vijay Prabhu next.
Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Such a nice class. Prabhuji, just now you are telling that before starting writing, we should study the previous Acharya's work. So, Prabhuji, I wanted to know that any guidelines, which books will cover all that understanding previous, some list of books is available.
Yeah. So before I recommend any books to anybody, I would like to say that, especially because today we are in an institutional system where people have authorities. So one should only read those books if your authorities and everybody's okay with that. If your authorities are okay with that, there's a list of books for understanding first and foremost, for understanding grammar, you should know the grammar of the language. If you're writing Sanskrit poetry, you should know Sanskrit poetics. Our acharyas have written many books on Sanskrit poetics. Srila Jiva Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrit Shesh means what remains after studying Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Bhakti Rasamrit Shesh is one such literature. And Alankar Kaustubh of Sri Kavi Karnapur, Kavya Kaustubh of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. These are some examples of literature. If you want to learn how to understand meters, then there is Chanda Kaustubh of Sri Radha Damodar Goswami, who was the Diksha Guru of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. These are books written within our sampradaya. So all these things, one should study at least one good book from every discipline and understand how the acharyas have expressed. They wrote these books so that we could study and we could compose. So one should do that.
Yeah, this is regarding Prabhuji literary work, but regarding Siddhanta of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which books?
The six sandarbhas.
So that
The six sandarbhas are the backbone, philosophical backbone of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. One should know what is given in the six sandarbhas. And Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, especially Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, will anyway be covered in a great way in Priti Sandarbha. But at least the six Sandarbhas and Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, these are two basic requirements.
Okay, thank you. Again, we'll go back to Kamniya Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Koti Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji and Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas who have so many beautiful, beautiful queries, and that enriches us more and more. And Prabhuji, like today's session was mesmerizing but painful as well, because in the beginning you told that there will be some separation between all of us, and on top of it you have decorated it with the mood of separation, which has made it more and more deeper. So I'm really thankful to you, Prabhuji, for sharing such wonderful nectar each and every time. We are learning so much, and we are so much indebted to you that just saying thank you is not enough. That's what I feel every time I listen to you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, my question is about the Prema Vichittya. So this Prema Vichittya is also relevant to Mother Yashoda, because I've read that she also undergoes this when Krishna is playing outside, but she feels that he's not there, and she becomes despondent and sad, and then what are the references which we can read to relish that as well? I know you're very short of time, but still I has this loba that if you can enlighten us on that, that would be really, really great, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so Prema Vaicittya is specifically used in connection with Madhurya Ras. It is not used in connection with, other rasas. In connection with other rasas, of course, there is, Sri Krishna, who is, even with his, with his other devotees, he displays pastimes of hiding, and I will give an example of Sri Rupa Goswami gives it another name. He gives Pitror Vismapanam. I will share my screen from Padavali. And the verse is Kalindi Puline. Let me try to find. Yeah, this is here. Atha Pitror Vismapana Shikshanadi. I'll share my screen. This is Padavali, verse 148. Kalindi Puline Mayana Namayan शीलोपशल्येन न्यग्रोधस्य तले मयान्न मया राधा पितुः प्राङ्गणे दृष्टः कृष्ण इतीरिते स नियमं गोपैर्यशोदापतेर्विस्मेरस्य पुरोहसन् निजगृहान् निर्यान् हरि पातु वा कालिन्दी पुलिनेन मयानन मया. So, one time the friends of Sri Krishna, they did not see Sri Krishna around, so they came and asked Nanda Maharaj, where is Sri Krishna? Nanda Maharaj said, I don't know, you go and find him. So one Sakha particularly, one comes and says, Kalindi Puline Maya Nanamaya. So, I swear, I didn't see him on the banks of Yamuna. Another person says, I didn't see him on near Govardhan. Third person says, I tried to search him in Bhandir, but I could not find him. So fourth said, I have come from Radha Pitu Prangana. I have come from Vrishabhanu Maharaj's place. I didn't find him there. So Nanda Maharaj became a little anxious. What happened to Sri Krishna? And suddenly, Hasan Nijagrihan Niryan. Suddenly Krishna, while laughing, comes from the inside room. Outside. He was hiding in the room inside, basically. So may that Sri Krishna, Patuvaha, protect all of you. So this is Pitror Vismapanati. This is Vismapan. Vismapan is the name given. Vaicittya is when it causes fainting, etc. That happens in Madhurya Ras. So that is what is. In the presence of Krishna, separation, but it causes all these bhavas to manifest. Udveg, fainting, great agitation at heart, all that. So that happens in Madhurya Ras. That is why special term is Prem Vaicittya. So that is. Other rasas have been given different technical terms. So that is what. Rupa Goswami is good at categorization. It doesn't mix one name from one particular rasa with another name from another rasa. So that is what is good about Srila Rupa Goswami. So I hope this clarifies, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is really because there's so much subtleties involved. So I'm really grateful that you're helping us with explaining all these things. Thank you so much, Vidya Prabhu. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll go to Sachindra Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas. Thank you for the wonderful class. As you get to the 12th verse or 11th verse, it gets very, very deep and the understanding has to be at a very high level to relish some of these mellows. So hopefully one day I'll get there. But my question is in regards with, a lot of times when you're worshiping the deities or you have feelings of, well, first question is it when we miss Krishna, is it in the mood of separation or absence? Because I heard once your lecture that if we never really fell down, it's really not separation, it's absence, in the mood of absence.
Right. There is a term for that, ayoga. Ayoga means somebody who has never seen Krishna before. That person is experiencing ayoga. We never saw Krishna even once. So that prema is not there. Once prema is there, then darshan is automatically followed because darshan comes immediately after prema. As soon as darshan happens, one first sees Krishna, and then when Krishna disappears after that, then one feels separation. That you can call as vipralambha. But
So
before
darshan, I'm sorry, darshan means like in the mind, in front, in physical, what is?
either it is in the heart or either it is direct darshan. But it is a darshan. Means the full symptoms of getting a darshan, standing of hair on end, rolling on the floor, all those things will happen at that point of time. Narad Muni, in his previous life, he got darshan within his heart. It says, I have quoted this verse often, Hridyasi Inve Shanai Hari, that Narad Muni, I'll specify this verse, 1:16 from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni's darshan was in the heart. It says, Dhyayatas Charanam Bhojam, as I was meditating upon his lotus feet, Bhava Nirjita Chetasa, my heart was overcome with Bhav. Outkanthashru Kalakshasya, Hridi Asin me Shanair Hari, my eyes were filled with tears of eagerness. Hridi Asin, in my heart, gradually somebody appeared. Who appeared? Hari appeared in my heart. This is Narad Muni's previous life, where Krishna is going to come and say, alas, you will not be able to see me again in this life. Sorry, Narad Muni. This is the last time you are able to see me in your heart. And so, even this darshan gives all that outkantya, ashru, tears, standing of hairs on end, etc. So, inner darshan it will give you that effect.
So if one has not had that inner darshan because, or the darshan of Shri Krishna, because it's at prema level, it's very high level, but nonetheless, you have a deep feeling of missing Krishna and even tears come. What are those tears? Are they just a mundane tears or are they genuine? And secondly, what does Krishna do with those tears that come from one's eyes and missing Krishna deeply, that is not at the level of prema, but is at some level?
Right. So, what happens when somebody experiences without prema, what happens when somebody experiences tears, etc. So that basically is known as bhava bhas. So what is bhava bhas? Sri Rupa Goswami explains bhava bhas in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I will share my screen with you so that you can have a look. This is 1:3:52, 1:3:53. Hari priya janasyaiva prasad bhar labhatah bhava bhasopi sahata bhavatvam upagacchati. Hari priya janasyaiva prasad bhar labhatah bhava bhaso. Initially you had some abhas, some semblance of bhav. Sometimes tears used to come when you would hear a particular lecture, and then the tears go away after some time, and then mind becomes absorbed in material things again. So that is called as bhava abhas. But Hari priya janasyaiva, if there is some person who is very dear to Hari, prasad bharalabhatah, if you get his kripa, his prasad, his mercy, if you please such a person, then bhava bhasopi, in association of such a person, sahasa bhavatvam upagacchati, bhava bhas can turn into actual bhav. Now, this is Sri Rupa Goswami's technical term used to describe symptoms of ecstasy which are fleeting before the stage of bhav and prema. I hope that clarifies.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll go back to Kamniya Krishna Prabhu and Kamla Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I was wondering that as you mentioned today, different pastimes, right? When like separation pastimes, but actually when the Krishna was present there, right? Krishna was there into the Vrindavana, and it was like a kind of a discussed by different acharyas like Vidyapati and all. So I was thinking like Prabhuji, how is there any what kind of a literature have been written when Krishna really went to Mathura and eventually to Dwarka So that separation period is quite a long compared to what we are hearing now, right?
You're right.
And eventually Radharani and all their Astasaki or this, Vrindavanvasi, Vrajavasi, their entry to the uh, eternal pastime. So at that kind of a separate, now I'm not talking about only about the Madhurya separation, but different kind of a separation from the different people, Rajavasi. So what kind of literature we have? Like, is there anything into our sampradaya or
Yeah,
how
yeah,
we
yeah.
can read?
Gopal Champu is a prime example of such literature because
Only one.
yeah, Gopal Champu itself covers a lot.
Okay.
And plus the commentaries on the 10th canto, especially after Krishna goes to Dwarka, etc. Those are also there. Some places Brihad Bhagavatamritam also speaks about it. Lalit Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav are filled with examples of what the Vrajavasis feel when Krishna has gone to Dwarka. So many literature are there. Plus the songs from Padavali, so many thousands of Padavalis are there. This in itself is a lot to study and understand, you know, the moods of the various devotees.
Sure, Bobby. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So before Jai Dwarka Prabhu had to drop, and he sent me a question to ask.
Yeah.
So it's follow up from last class. So he says that in the last, I think you talked about it in the last class, but I'll still go ahead with this question, Prabhuji. So he says that in the last class, you explained about the jealousy of Dwarka versus Vraja, where you said that Sri Radha never tries to put the flute away from Krishna permanently. But that feeling of jealousy is there in the Dwarka queens, though. How do we understand such kind of jealousy existing in Dwarka Dham? And then he mentions this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which speaks about the absence of envy in the spiritual world. I'm sure there are many verses, but the one he mentioned is 3.15.18. I don't want to mispronounce it. Para Vatanya Bhrita Sarasa Chakravaka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so that's the question, that how do we understand this jealousy being there even in Dwarka Dham?
The thing is, we have to understand that when in the spiritual world, jealousy is being spoken of, jealousy is spoken of as what? As a sanchari bhav. Sanchari bhav means as, or as an anubhav, or as a sanchari bhav. That is what it is. So, anubhav means an effect of experiencing a ras. Sanchari bhav means a fleeting ras. So, see here, in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami. See, Prabhuji, you yourself can read. Sri Rupa Goswami is specifying one particular technical term here. What is the technical term that Sri Rupa Goswami is specifying?
Asuya.
Asuya. Now, question is, what is the meaning of Asuya? Asuya means envy or jealousy. That is the meaning of Asuya. Now, this is in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, where the Sanchari Bhavas or Vyabhichari Bhavas are being described. Now, this is verse number 164 of 2.4 of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Now, see what Rupa Goswami says. Dveshaha parodaye suyanya saubhagya gunadivi. What is Asuya? Basically, he says Dveshaha. Dveshaha, envy. Why? Paro daye asuya anya saubhagya gunadivi. Because of good fortune of others, because of qualities of others, because of that jealousy which arises is called as asuya. Now, what are the effects of that? Tatra irshya, another, akshepa, dosharop, finding faults in others, even in their good qualities, etc. Now, here, ideally, we should ask, Are, how is it possible that you are writing about envy here? as one of the Vyabhichari bhavas. So when spiritual world envy is spoken of, it is spoken of as a Vyabhichari bhav or as an Anubhav, as a side effect or as a product of experiencing some rasa. It is not spoken of as this is not the same as material dvesha, material envy. So that is not what it is. So this is basically a component of ras. This is not that material envy which causes one to harm others. That is what can be said. Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay. With that, I just had one last point or comment, kind of follow up from Neelachal Chandrika Mataji's question about the song and the ragas. That is so important. I am myself very challenged in music, and tunes are completely alien to me. But the way at least you sang, that mood of solemnness or sadness was there in the tune. And like you mentioned, that book where even the tune is mentioned, that is such a, of course, I can't read Bangla Lipi, but that was very nice that that mood is also mentioned, in which, or the tune, perhaps there's a tune for each one that it can be sung in. So yeah, I think this is a very new sort of area for relishing these songs with meaning, and not just with the meaning of the song, but in the tune. If properly sung, it has such a huge impact. Just because you were singing, I didn't understand much of the song, but the tune was conveying the mood.
Right.
I could feel that. It was
Right.
amazing. And yes, it had some relevance to the topic of Vipralambha, so that connection was there. But it was some amazing how the tune, no words, just the tune was conveying that mood. That was a very amazing I would experience for me today.
Yeah. So yeah. So the tunes especially put you in a specific mood. Music has a very deep impression on the hearts of people. It is very sad that sometimes we we restrict ourselves musically also so much that some devotees say don't sing anything else than Mahamantra, only Mahamantra, nothing else. So what about Leela Kirtan? Nam Kirtan is there. What about Leela Kirtan? So all this is Leela Kirtan. If one gives attention to various forms of Kirtan, their entire life will be blissful. So if after following all the rules and regulations, if after doing all the strictness and as it is, if one tear for Sri Krishna could not come from the eye, Shrama eva hi kevalam. It was all effort wasted. It was all effort wasted. If after making thousands and thousands of devotees and beating one's chest about it, if one could not cry for Krishna, Shrama eva hi kevalam. It was all in vain. The aim of life, the aim of the human form of life is not simply getting big numbers wherever you go. If you ask Sri Rupa Goswami, how many devotees did you create? Rupa Goswami will say, I am not into that business. I am not into that business of creating devotees. I'll write books, and through my books, you will be able to create thousands of devotees. That is Rupa Goswami. Today, those people who claim that, I've created these many number of devotees, that many number of, you've created because you are standing on the shoulders of Rupa Goswami. Without the literature of Srila Rupa Goswami, you cannot create these devotees. So whenever we say that a Vaishnava should be judged by the number of devotees he has created, one should also understand that a Vaishnava should also be judged by how close he is to the Sampradaya and how much advanced he is, in his personal relationship with Sri Krishna. No, na utpadayed yadi ratim shrama eva hi kevalam. Don't waste your lives, by trying to get a certificate of honor from the society. Spend your life in crying for Sri Krishna. That is what we can try to do. All right.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. On that note, on that very important note, let's end this class today. And let me see how to. Yeah, I think now everybody can unmute. I have set that permission. Please express your deep gratitude and appreciation for our beloved Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class.
Hari Pārṣada Prabhu ki
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna,
jai.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. We love you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada
Sadhu.
ki jai. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki
Hari
jai.
Pārṣada
Ananta Koti
Prabhuji.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Thank you so
sadhu.
much for such a beautiful class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Very much appreciated. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shriman Hari Pārṣada Prabhuji ki jai. Dandavat
Srila Prabhupada ki
Pranam,
jai.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada
Hare
ki jai.
Krishna. Hare Prabhu. Ki jai.
Pranam.
Hari Bol.
My pranams. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, Prabhuji, we'll end the meeting here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri.
Jai.